today's abandoned video, we come across one of the best abandoned locations we have ever seen. Today we are infiltrating a colossal prison in Italy that has been closed for over 15 years. The property contains everything we adore in derelict structures: gorgeous decay, time capsule belongings, ornate architecture, untouched equipment, and a desolate atmosphere, leading us to marvel at its never-ending corridors brimming with history. Although it didn't appear as large from the outside, the interior is gigantic, and we spent more than 7 hours wandering through the prison, featuring chapels, a hospital, school and children's block, searching for any details of interest. Join us as we step inside to discover what remains. Remember to click subscribe and press the notification bell to never miss a video.
Oh, sorry, I didn't see you there. I'm Alistair, and I'm proud to announce that issue 2 of the official Abandoned magazine is available to purchase now on our website. We originally planned to film a full advert like we did last time with all of us together, but unfortunately this 40-minute video that I've been working on has left me a little rushed. So I've just come to my local abandoned hospital and I'm just going to try and lay down the facts for you guys about what this magazine entails. After our first magazine was a huge success, we wanted to top it completely, and by listening to your feedback, we think we have by a country mile. For a starter, this magazine is twice the length, featuring countless unseen locations, high quality photographs and short insights into our most exciting infiltrations. Aligning with this video, our lead article talks about our Italian trip and the spontaneous aspects of it, in a play-by-play illustration of our epic 3 days in Europe, showing some of the amazing places like the prison that we managed to witness. We have articles that would intrigue anyone that has any sort of interest in Urbex, diving deep into some of the social conflicts of the hobby and looking into mass causes for abandoned structures, such as COVID's influence on shopping centres across the UK. In this magazine, we managed to catch an exclusive interview with the guys at Hell on Earth that we managed to meet recently, and that pretty much went just as you'd expect. And finally, what would an abandoned magazine be without some intense infiltrations, such as power station police dodging, a recollection of Ferry Bridge. There is even more to see in the 70+ pages that would be a perfect Christmas gift for any Urbex lovers. In addition, we also decided to do the opposite of the energy crisis and lower the cost. But don't worry if you didn't catch issue 1. We're offering a 2-mag bundle, so you can get issue 1 and issue 2 for a discounted price, so you can catch up. To purchase a copy, check out the Abandoned store in the description. And if you want one before Christmas, we would recommend ordering very soon, before it's too late. We look forward to hearing your thoughts.
On our short and sporadic trip to Italy in early 2022. On a beautiful wintry day, we had hiked to the peak of an Italian town to reach the infamous prison walls that towered over us, making us question how compatible an entry point would be. The admin building that would have permitted visitors entry long ago looked worse for wear, shutters blowing in the wind and brickwork on the facade missing. eventually, after some time scouring the perimeter, we had managed to pass the high wall and were closer than ever to the premises. Inside an absolutely huge abandoned prison. Straight away we've got examples of really nice decay. Big mural on the wall. I think this would have been a chapel of some sort, although I'm pretty sure there's another one in this place. They're holding up the ceiling with scaffolding.
Inside the auxiliary buildings to the prison. Some stuff left in here, but not a lot. These books look really old. Don't have any titles on them really, but the whole shelf is full of them.
Our initial reaction to the site's corridors and rooms were that they were fairly bland, and we even wondered whether we were in the wrong building. However, soon enough the prison's decor started to get more appealing.
It's a complete change of architecture here. Some really tall corridors and doorways. Mostly looks empty.
Yeah, there's not any signs of furniture at all.
No. Floor's tiled there. It's quite nice.
There's minimal decay too. It's barely peeling.
Just a bit of plaster here and there. This staircase there. Banisters snow ornate.
Yeah, all the ones we've seen so far have been like this. There's paintings on the wall.
This bit feels really clinical, if that's a way to describe it. Just reminds me of a hospital.
Yeah. I think this would have been the administrative building, and these were offices. Really nice marble staircase. Don't see that often. There's the stunning main building we're working our way to. That will be where all the cells are. Moving across the office spaces, we were hunting for a way into the main prison, where we assumed most of the fascination would reside. We had found a way into an overgrown courtyard, peering up at the staggering complex. There's more of these gated doors.
When you step out here, you really realise how big this place is.
Yeah. All of that building on the left is in a huge X, and that's where everything will be, probably, that we're more interested in.
So we're heading into the main section of the prison now.
Look at that arch.
It's really nice, isn't it? You can tell this is definitely the main building. The architecture in every room is arched at least, and it's got some sort of colour scheme. This looks like the kitchen, judging by the doors. Yeah, not a lot left though.
They took all the tabletops. very cool. All the chairs set up. This is where the prisoners would make a 5-minute phone call to their family and friends, who would sit on the opposite side. Or vice versa, actually.
Some noises echoing down from above were concerning us slightly, thinking that it must be builders. Therefore, we surveyed the ground floor first, before hesitantly moving upward.
Judging by the way that light's hanging, this is probably where the games room was. Probably had 2 snooker tables in here or something like that.
Just moving to the opposite side of the prison because we heard the loudest selection of bangs that we think indicates that someone's upstairs doing some work on the building. Luckily this place is massive, so we can cross it quite easily to get to the other side. And then we can start slowly making our way around from there.
Another ornate staircase leading us upwards.
There's so many. I think it's lighter up here, we won't need the torch.
Just got a glimpse of what's to come.
Oh my god. Holy shit.
Wow. This is not a bad first prison for us, is it?
No, this is amazing. Look at the skylight.
This main atrium was the central point of the X-shaped prison, with 4 cell blocks sprouting from its sides. Its design was truly breathtaking, with a grand clock at the summit, intricate banisters and a domed ceiling, decaying beautifully from more than a decade of neglect. We had almost forgotten about the strange noises we had heard, which turned out to just be the wind, gazing up in awe at the stunning space, now very excited for the entire exploration.
Looks like this way leads outside from the main atrium. It's a courtyard. It's a bit where the prisoners would have done their exercise. All things alike. Loud outside for once. It's really big. You can see up there they've got the protection from the windows, or potentially to stop any kind of bits of the roof falling off. It's either one or the other. I do think it would be weird living in those houses directly behind the fence, looking out over this every day. Wow, it's so big. Look at that. That's probably where a prison officer would have watched over people outside.
So as mentioned earlier, the main building of the prison that we're in now is shaped like an X, and each line of the X makes a wing that has 3 floors filled with cells. So they would be able to hold a lot of prisoners here. I'm sure I'll find the exact number. All the doors in this one have been removed. Right, I'll give you an example of a cell. Very small, very cramped.
It's so nice when the doors are like this. I think it makes it so much better that this place is clean and not too decayed. It's just perfect. Cells are pretty stripped.
These look like more secure cells. That's the shower block. The green colour scheme stayed prominent throughout the cells, but the rooms themselves were void of any furniture. Still, as the wind swept through the apocalyptic corridors, we scanned each wing for memoirs from the past.
This is quite interesting. An old hatch. I would have literally looked into the bathroom in case someone was hiding.
Every wing is very, very alike. Definitely gets repetitive, but the light coming in is what makes this place for sure. And that. I've noticed though that this front part of the building that we were looking at earlier is completely separated, so I don't know if there are cells in there. That might just be for the staff. So we have to go down and go up another staircase to get to it because the prisoners could not access it at all. The banister, it's so ornate. Could spend ages in this room, to be honest. What is this? Oh, it's like a little altar, like a praying station. Assume the prisoners could come to here when they wanted.
At the top of the main atrium. You can really start to appreciate it from this point.
Oh, we can get in here.
Yeah, it looks like
Someone's took the door.
admin maybe. Again, a different colour scheme and tiled walls in the rooms.
It's completely changed. These are definitely not cells.
No, definitely not. That made me jump. Oh wow, look at this staircase. Caged elevator shaft.
It's very old.
Very.
Different coloured set of cells here. Very muted colour scheme. Really gives off the prison vibe, so. Occupying both men and women over a lengthy period of use, the prison was built in the 1860s on the grounds of an ancient fort. The structure utilises an X layout that could host over 350 inmates, with more than 15 corridors of cells. It's quite the way down now. This is so cool. It's a really old clock with a dated hand. It's in Roman numerals too.
Presume this would have been the booth area that overlooks the courtyard. It is as well. Look at that view. It's stunning.
That bell might have been the only thing telling the time to some of the people imprisoned. It kind of echoes through these walls now. It's very atmospheric. This might be my favourite corridor I've seen of cells, with all the doors open. These doors look much more dated. But again, the layout is the same. All of them have this small room here on the right, and it's the only room on the right. And all the cells are on the left. Identical cells. Although there's a bit more peeling paint. We can work our way down now in that admin block as soon as that door was open at the top. I love these doors, the glass.
Yeah, I've seen quite a few of these on the Italian streets.
Maybe this isn't the admin, because all these doors are barred.
These are really big doors, so they could have just been really big cells, but with nothing inside, it's hard to tell.
Maybe interview rooms, like the terracotta ceiling design.
Some more detailed architecture here with the pillars.
The prison would close at the start of the 21st century, but it is uncertain why. We can speculate that the building was very outdated and perhaps already falling into disrepair before it was mothballed. Either way, since vacation, little has been done to protect the building from the elements, leaving it to crumble in places and lose valuables to thieves. We were close to finishing coverage of every inch of the huge prison, but we knew that there was much more to see from online photographs. Due to this factor, we continued looking for other buildings that we could access, heading back to the ground levels of the admin building to do so. Trophies. There's quite a few actually. I think these would have been workshops. They usually have those in a prison. It's like a little tool cupboard there. I think that's an old machine. Finally, we noticed a bridge that seemed to connect the region we were in to another facility that we hadn't even considered to be defunct. Little did we know, we hadn't even seen half of the property.
We finally found our way to the other building. This one's got less prison related stuff, more like chapels, hospital equipment, etc. in, well we hope anyway. You can see they've had some scaffolding up here, really a weak structure. Oh wow.
Oh my.
It's like an oasis out there. That's amazing.
This appeared to be a building without the serious protection the other had, so we predict that most occupants here would have been officers and other staff members. Soon we would work out how the two link in more detail. Seems a lot more decayed in here. Long corridors as well.
Massive arch ceiling in here. We're definitely in the hospital section at the moment. You can can see they still have cells though, which is not surprising considering it is a prison. Cells for the patients if they were ill. A lot more spacious, you can see, than the other cells in the main section. Some furniture left in them as well, like the tables. There's even jugs and cups in this one here.
With the diagrams on the walls here and these cells, I think this must have been a juvenile detention centre. I don't really know how else to explain the children's toys. A classroom. All the chairs are still set up. Here's a look at the second courtyard. There's less foliage on the floor here because the trees aren't letting sunlight down.
There's a bathroom like we saw earlier here. Oh yeah, this is definitely a ward. Nothing in it now. In fact, there's a few bits left. Some old furniture. I think these would have been at the bedsides of the patients. And these are probably the lamps that they used as well. It's a really big room. One of the biggest ones, individual rooms anyway, that we've been in probably so far. These look like little examination rooms perhaps. Mostly empty, but in fact this one has some stuff left. Oh, it's a medical bed. And they're all the cupboards full. And the aprons there.
Yeah, I was thinking the prison needs a hospital section. At such a scale, it was no surprise that a medical area was incorporated into the prison's blueprints. What we weren't anticipating was the amount of remaining equipment that seemed to have been ignored entirely when the site was shuttered, such as this treatment room, with needles, bandages and medicine on the shelves. There's a drip there, or the stand for it. You can tell all these tables, or most of them, were medically used. Look at these. Very old exercise bikes. Potentially for physiotherapy. These are the Velcro straps used for blood tests.
There's been so many corridors in this place and none of them have disappointed. Even this one, it's a colour scheme we've not seen. And it curves and it's got this classic arched window at the end. Now this one's a lot more prison-like. You can see down there, there's a wheelchair and this is overlooking the courtyard as well. This is unbelievable.
It's a really old one. There's needles on it too.
Yeah.
the old equipment they'd wear, the nurses and doctors.
Absolutely everything left in there.
Yeah. This looks good from the tiles.
Yeah, doesn't it?
Oh yeah. That is very nice.
Old as well. It's like the stand for where the table would have been is just about there, but
It's really cool. I bet it still works as well and moves around. It was amazing to see a dated operating light to top off the hospital section of the complex. Nothing else had survived besides the vintage bulbs and a ruined table below it.
it does still work.
And the bulbs aren't smashed, which is always a great sign. We have barely seen any vandalism in here though. Another drip stand. It makes you want to check every single room.
I know, I feel like we could easily miss something.
Yeah.
These cabinets are nice.
Yeah, and they're full of stuff.
They're just classic medical cabinets.
Oh, this is so cool.
Oh wow, this is the reason you want to check every room.
Yeah, that is a super old operating light.
Is that a chair there? Dentist chair?
Oh, it is. Yeah, it is. It's covered in stuff there.
Wow.
Just to top it off. The chances that we could miss something accidentally by skipping a single room was worrying us, but it is these types of derelict buildings, abundant in points of interest, that are our favourite to document. Every level is different, but equally interesting. All of the old medical equipment and paperwork was incredible, but eventually we had to move on. There were still multiple floors to check, and our return flight home was later today. Oh wow. Oh my god. This was out of the blue. Stunning little place of worship. There's stone statues on the ceiling too. This small shrine was probably a private place of worship for some inmates, but it looked as if it had been disused for a very long time. A stunning mural in the centre of the ceiling surrounded by stone statues. It was a shame that no one witnesses this chapel anymore. Outside in the numerous courtyards, it was very peaceful and concealed. All you could hear was the trees swaying in the wind and the faint ambience of the town's traffic in the distance. Another cellar corridor, but there's an abundance of stuff. Quite vast cells too. Oh, look at this. It's a hair salon. There is so much to see in this place. Almost reminds me of an asylum now. The prison would have to be equipped with everything necessary to be standalone, so inmates could live in there for years without leaving. Although we didn't see it for ourselves, we can imagine there would also be a dentist, pharmacy, and canteen. Ivy coming in from the window. It's lush. Different sort of prison door there. I like it. Whole office with a typewriter. Most rooms in this country have the small crosses. I believe Italy is highly religious. Some more examples of paintings on the wall. back inside. Looks like quite a lot of natural light being let in through here. Oh my. These arches. This is a little gym with a climbing frame. Connects to outside as well. God. I can't get over these courtyards. This one's got a fussball table in the middle.
These appear to be prison officer badges, accompanied by one of the hats. There's lots of bird feathers here.
Yeah. This is the chapel. This is so nice. Sunlight coming through from those multicoloured stained glass windows. And it's all marble as well. As the sunset flared through the colourful windows, we had arrived at the prison's main church, which you can imagine the prisoners experienced during weekly services. Its architecture would be uncommon today in the buildings that are built based on efficiency, losing any arches, marble or stained glass to their predecessors. Got a marble altar at the front. It's very simplistic, this chapel, but it's really nice. I love the colours.
This should take us to the balcony here. It's a very small one. Oh, there is a pew up here as well. Gives you a nice overlook of the hall.
After 7 hours within the prison, our exploration had finally come to a conclusion and we shortly left, thankfully able to make our homebound flight. The structure was remarkable, and unlike anything we had ever seen before. There was so much to see, and if minor inconveniences like hunger and plane travel hadn't cropped up, theoretically we could have stayed for even longer. As for the building's future, it isn't certain what will happen. Realistically, parts of the premises are in too poor a condition to be rescued now, yet from what we have read, the local townsfolk would love to see it saved and advocate for its renovation. Currently it sits in an apocalyptic state, furthering in damage as its neglection continues, still showcasing so much to the odd photographer that is able to penetrate its perimeter wall. Here are some of our photographs captured at the abandoned prison. If you like the look of them, check out our Instagram page in the description, where we share images from our explores months before they are seen on YouTube. Thanks for watching. Remember to check out issue 2 of our magazine below. We can't recommend it enough if you enjoyed this video. See you next time.